Osladero, what's up, man? Yep, I am in the airport, and I already have a 1 hour delay, so I'm gonna have to see how long this flight takes. But my first leg is to Canada, and I've got like a 2.5 hour delay. A 1 hour delay right now. So we're supposed to leave at 8:30. We're gonna leave at 9:45. So that's fine because that just means I don't have to wait in Canada as long. And I'm hanging out at a bar. It's like, all right, I got some time. Yeah, flying through Toronto. I think it's Toronto to Taipei to Cebu. So I don't have to wait in Manila. Thank you. Cheers, brother. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting stuck in Manila because I did that last time. And when I was in Manila, I was basically sitting in the airport for like 6 hours because they didn't know what to do. Taipei, I'm not worried about it. Japan, China, they've got their act together. Yeah, this will work. So tell me something. When you came in, was this public or private? Somebody told me that some of my live streams have been going up private. I want to make sure that that doesn't happen because then only people who are already registered can see them. But yeah, so we've got, should be perfect. Thank you for that. 'Cause, yeah. Let's see, the last one went private. Yeah, I had some people tell me that they tried to join the last one, but it went private and wouldn't let them in. And I didn't realize it had gone private. There were a couple of restaurants I could wait at. There was actually another restaurant around the corner, but they were playing music, and I didn't want that on the live stream because music can get you into trouble with YouTube and copyright and all of that. But total flight time, I should say, with all the delays should be like 28 hours, which is good. I didn't want to be stuck. You got to watch when you book your flights that you don't get stuck in an airport overnight. If you don't pay attention to the way it gets booked, you could be like in Hong Kong in an airport for 10 or 12 hours before the next flight goes out. So I made sure to avoid that. And I already assumed I was going to have flight delays, so I just made sure that the plan is to get into Cebu at 10 in the morning. So even with all the delays, I should still get into Cebu Monday early. This is like the first delay. It's kind of funny because I haven't even left New Jersey yet, and I'm already getting delays. I'm probably going to get delayed when I get to Taipei. I hope I don't get delayed when I get to Toronto, because if I get delayed in Toronto, my wait in Taipei is like another 2.5 hours. So 2 delays, and then they're going to have to figure out how to put me on a new flight to Cebu because I'll miss my flight. Do I have a place set up, or am I winging it? Oh, I got a place. I did. I always book. Well, for things like this, I always have a hotel waiting. Cebu is funny though. I mean, you make a reservation. It's kind of a reservation. They don't take your credit card or anything like that. They just, jot down your information so they know that you're going to show up. But yeah, I got a hotel. It's actually a nice one. I went on Google Hotels and I looked for the hotels that had the highest ratings. But I wanted a hotel with a pool, and I wanted it to be right in the heart of Cebu City. I got the name of it someplace, but I can't pull it up because I'd have to pull down the live stream to pull it up. Starts with an M, but it's saved into my phone. But this place was nice. I mean, this place had great ratings. And I always look at like the people who complain to see what they complain about. The people who complain about it were complaining about nonsense. Like some guy complained because he went to the hotel bar and the bartender was like chatting with a buddy. So he didn't like meet the guy and ask him what he wanted as quick as he thought he should. It's like, all right, I'm not worried about that. And one person like ordered something and didn't like it, and The maitre d' took the food but didn't apologize. Just like took the food and said, "What do you want?" So the person didn't rate them well because they were annoyed. Those are the only kinds of bad ratings that I've seen for them. Everybody said that the place is immaculate. They said the room setup is nice. It looks gorgeous. It's modern. It's got everything they want. So I was like, all right, that's what I need. And it wasn't that expensive. I mean, not that I was worried about it. First time I went to the Philippines, I was cheap. I spent like 20 bucks a night. I had a good room. It was like 20 bucks a night because I was just being cheap. I wasn't in my room that much. I don't plan on being in my room that much this time either. But I kind of know some stuff now. Like I know when I finally get to Cebu, I'm gonna be jet lagged, so I'm probably gonna just go to my room and sleep for a few hours because I gotta get myself back together. And I know that if breakfast is available at the hotel, which it is on this one, then that kind of saves me in the morning when last time I went, I would walk down to this coffee shop. It wasn't bad, but if I could just like walk down to the lobby, grab some food and go, that's more convenient than having to get all dressed up, worry about the weather. If you got a woman with you, you got to worry. She's got to get ready, which can take a lot of time. I don't have to deal with any of that. This is just get up, go to the lobby. If I got a woman, she can just like stay in the room if she doesn't feel like going down. So it's way more convenient. But this one also has the pool that doesn't let the locals just come in and swim, because that messed me up last time. I couldn't swim when I wanted to. All the locals were in there in the the local kids were in there in the morning, so you couldn't really swim. I don't have to worry about any of that. This time it's like, all right, I want a hotel. I want it to be nice. I want to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want. That's what I got. So I'm in a good spot as far as that goes. I just got to get there. That's the whole trick now. I will tell you this: if you've never flown around the world, I've never gone to the Philippines without having delays. I've had delays going. I've had delays coming back. I have never had a straight shot. I don't think it's possible. Even when I booked my flight, they put a warning up that said, expect delays. I'm like, all right, they don't even pretend like you're not going to get delayed trying to go out or trying to come back in. So if you prepare for that, then okay. And these 2.5 hour delays between flights should be fine as long as I don't really get hammered. But we'll see. Let me see, is it central to the airport? So the airport to Cebu, like if you look at the geography of it, if you're in the airport, to get to Cebu City is like maybe 15 minutes. You just catch a grab because you go over this like Lapu-Lapu, and then you catch a cab over. I think it's Lapu-Lapu. It's supposed to be a good area. Like you can walk around in it and it's fine. But I didn't do that. I mean, once I was in Cebu City last time, I was just bopping around and hopping on jeepneys and doing all this fun stuff. I actually want to check out the jeepneys again because they're supposed to be upgrading. But basically, once I got into Cebu City, I never looked back. Had a blast. I mean, I'm probably going to do the same thing. When I'm in Cebu City, I'm going to spend a lot of time in Cebu City this time. But this time I'm going to get more footage of walking around. Like I'm not going to spend so much time bouncing around from island to island, just island hopping. Because then, I mean, I'm not complaining about my last trip, but I spent a lot of that time like on buses, going places. I'm going to do like local canoe trips, local waterfalls, all that stuff. That's going to be the focus because that should be fun. Let me see. Usually a direct flight for me from Vancouver, or at least I prefer it. If I could have gotten a flight with just one stop, I would have done that. Like I didn't see anything direct from New Jersey to Cebu. I would have been surprised if I did. The only things I saw that were like one stop were way more expensive. I have 2 stops. I've always had 2 stops when I've done those. So you're talking about paying like 5 times like 4 or 5 times as much. if you want a flight that's just got one stop. And it doesn't save you that much time. I mean, figure you got about 24 hours in the air, no matter what. And I got two-hour delays, so I've got like 28 hours. So one stop, that'd be like 26. So you're spending several thousand more dollars just to save 2 hours. It's like, nah, I'm not worried about that. I'll just, deal with the two stops. More money to spend on vacation, call it a day. Vancouver, so you did Vancouver, Manila. You said when I came back, I had a delay in Honolulu. Yeah, it's not worth. Yeah, it's just not worth it. For what you're saving, it's not really worth it. But yeah, if I was going to Manila, I probably could have got a straight shot if I was going to Manila. But since I wanted to go to Cebu, you got to figure it out. Either you're going to like Japan or China and then to Cebu, or you're going to Manila and then to Cebu. And the one thing I just didn't want to do was land in Manila, because Manila is a headache. That's probably the biggest headache airport I've ever been in. It's either that one or Detroit. But Detroit's got some of its own problems. So yeah, I don't think I've ever been to the airport in Vancouver now that I think about it. I've been to Toronto because I've had to do work there a couple of times. Yeah, this is going to be my first time in Vancouver. Not that I'm going to be walking around. And you're like, Manila's like, real life story about Manila. This is what happened when I went to the Philippines last year. So flights were delayed, and I landed in Manila, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. This is the first time I'd ever been to the Philippines. So, we land, and they're telling people, here's the exit, but I was like, I'm not trying to exit, I got to catch a flight. I'm supposed to get to Cebu. And they were confused, like, well, the airport's closed. I'm like, so? I'm trying to get to Cebu, what am I supposed to do? And they were basically saying, come back in the morning. I'm like, what are you talking about? I wasn't expecting to be in Manila. I got a ticket to get to Cebu. I got bags to be checked. I got all kinds of stuff. I'm not just going to stand around and wonder. Everybody's pointing me in a different direction. Nobody knows what's going on. You talk to a guy on gate 1, he's telling you to go to gate 5. The guy on gate 5 is telling you to go to gate 1. I finally, took this bus around to where they had, a customer service group. They had, 3 agents, and there were, 60 people all waiting in line, sitting in these chairs. You take a number, and you're like, all right, I got to take a number. Good Lord, I got, 50 people in front of me. And everybody was taking, 15 minutes with the gate agent. So I thought, this will take all night. I'm not waiting around all night. That's the reason I came here, so I don't have to wait around all night. So I just walked up to one of the agents, and I said, look, I don't feel like waiting all night. What do I do? And they looked, and they gave me an express number. So we'll just take you next. Fine. They said, you can pay for a new flight. No, I already paid for one. Well, nothing's leaving until 8 o'clock in the morning. What am I supposed to do? Basically, they're like, we don't know. Figure it out. So you got to be ready for that kind of stuff. You got to be ready for that in the Philippines in general. But this is the first time I was in an airport where they were basically saying, hey, figure it out. We're going to be closed. Thought that was my order. I got some, what did I order? I don't even remember. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I got something. But basically, you're sitting in the airport and you're like, all right, I got to go figure out what I'm going to do through the night because nobody's going to help me. And they had some agents that they were supposed to be in the office at 8 o'clock in the morning, but I was already figuring this out. I'm like, if the sign says 8, you might not show up until 9. Signs don't mean anything around here. People don't really run things like clockwork around here. You got to get used to it. Finally got a ticket, waited in the airport, so I spent all night in there, and then I got a ticket for 7 o'clock in the morning. But then that was delayed 3 hours. No, it was delayed 4 hours because it left at 11, And I got into Cebu at like noon. I remember that because from Cebu I got to my hotel and it was like a little bit after 1 o'clock. And when I get to the hotel, the first thing I get when I'm walking up and they got my reservation is, oh, check-in is at 2. It's like, look, I've been flying for a day. I've been dealing with delays for a day. I don't feel like waiting in the lobby for an hour. Like, figure this out. So they, kind of did some stuff. You just have to be a little pushy. Otherwise, people will just keep blowing you off. But they got me into my room, and then I just crashed because I was tired. I was so tired from like all that waiting and all that arguing. But after that, it was blue skies, tropical environments, friendly people, gorgeous women everywhere you walk. Look, I know that in roughly 28 hours, I'm gonna be having the time of my life. So I don't really mind. I mean, I don't mind the delays. Whole day I was sitting back just thinking about it, and I was excited. Because Cebu, as far as vacations go, I don't really think you can beat it. Well, I should say, if you're single, I don't think you can beat it. If you're married, you're going. I wouldn't go over there with my family. Like, why bother? But if you're single, yeah, go to Cebu, live it up, and if you don't have the time of your life, then come talk to me. But I don't see how you can fail. And then you say, can you stay overnight in Manila, the airport? So yes. What you end up doing, all right, you got like the airport proper where passengers go, and you got kind of the outer part of the airport where people come to pick up passengers and all of that. You can stay in that part. They got an indoor part of that, so you can find like a seat with an outlet to plug in your phone. Yeah, you can do that. Watch Netflix all night. That's what I did. And then they've got some seating kind of outside, which I wouldn't recommend because it's crowded, it's hot. Yeah, it's like stay inside with the air conditioning. But yeah, you can do it. You kind of have to because they just dump people. Literally, they just kind of dump people. A lot of people are kind of in the same boat trying to figure out, well, what the heck am I supposed to do? But I do remember this one guy was I guess we were in Tokyo before we went to Manila. I think it was Tokyo. And the agent told him something, but they were like, he was Chinese, and she was speaking to him in Chinese. I didn't know what they were saying, but I could tell that it had to do with the tickets because he had his ticket. And she gave him some tickets. I think she already knew that the flight was going to be delayed from Manila, so she was already setting his tickets up so that he'd already be set once he got to Manila. At least he knew what flight he was going to be on. She didn't do that for me. I was kind of ticked off, like, wait a minute, why are you hooking him up, but you're not hooking me up? It's not like she did that for any of the other passengers. She just did it for that one guy. But still, I was like, wait a minute, this is what she did. She gave him tickets so that he's already on his next flight. Meanwhile, I'm over here fighting with customer service reps. Probably could have gotten on a slightly earlier flight if I had known like how the thing worked. This time I know. If I see something like that happening this time, I'm just going to be pushy. Basically, be pushy. Be pushy, pushy, pushy. Don't be a jerk, but be pushy because people will like blow you off. And if you're pushy, they'll take you seriously and they'll like fix your problem. If not, yeah, they'll just like dump you to the next guy. Next thing you know, 3 hours have passed and you haven't gotten any further than you started. So, what I will say though, Cebu's airport is much nicer. The customer service is better. Cebu and Manila airports are like night and day. It's like some podunk airport versus like a world-class thing. You go to Cebu, they might not have the answer, but they're darn sure going to try to figure it out. I landed, people were asking me, like, as soon as I got off the airport, they were asking me if I needed directions and all kinds of stuff. And I thought, do I look lost? I must look lost. I mean, clearly I'm not, from the Philippines, but people wanted to make sure I knew where I needed to go. That I wasn't worried about how to get there, but the best options. Hey, do you know about Grab? Do you know about the Jeepney? Do you know about this? Do you know about that? They were just being helpful, helpful, helpful. I was like, wow, this is different. This is nothing like Manila was. So yeah, that aspect of it, I'm looking forward to. And when you're walking down the streets in Cebu, that that I'm really looking forward to. I want to be the jolly green giant again, with everybody staring and saying, "Who is this guy? This must be an American." So all of that is waiting. I mean, if I've got a 28, here we go. I got food coming in. Thank you, sir. You're real welcome. All right, fellas. I got the chicken sandwich, grilled chicken sandwich with some French fries. All right. It's vacation time. All right, this would be awkward. So I'm not going to try to eat and stream at the same time. But I got a layover in Toronto. So more than likely, if I have a long layover, I'll just pull up. I'm just going to pull up whenever I've got layovers, shoot video, and we'll go from there. I'll see you guys from Canada.